After the Edo State governorship election, the All Progressives Congress has again won Ondo State governorship seat. The governing party is now controlling 21 states out of 36 and the PDP controlling 12, while ABGA, Labour Party and NNPP have 1 state each. With a gradual but regular decline in the fortunes of the once acclaimed biggest party in Africa, the PDP analysts are worried about the future of opposition parties in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 general election. With Anambra election next year and the APC angling to take the state, many Nigerians are worried that the nation may be drifting to a one-party state. Let's have this conversation with Dr. Amadi, who is also the director of Abuja School of Social and Political Thought and a RISE analyst. Thank you for joining us on News Night. Let's look at before I get into what the opposition party looks like, ahead of 2027. Let's get your assessment of the election, the outcome of this election, and of course the impact on the political landscape in Ondo State.
First, I think we could say this was a peaceful election from all indications, apart from police arresting a few persons. We don't know details of those in DSS custody, but essentially a peaceful election, went fast election, outcome, result declared. We saw what happened in previous elections. Maybe we'll be gradually winding down collection, like in Edo. So pretty fast enough. After yesterday, by midday today, we already knew the winner. Again, the landslide, it looks like. 18 government, PDP got all. And quite a margin between APC and PDP. The Labour others got 1,000, 2,000. So maybe predictable, because this is an incumbent who we can't assess whether he has done much or not. But again, seems to have done a good campaign. We saw the APC governors, many of them, they are showing strength, showing commitment, showing that they are ready to wrestle from the fire another state. Within PDP was basically missing. They, of course, Tambuwal and a few people, just straight into Ondo, some kind of, movement.
Just quickly to look at
some issues. So essentially, predictable. Yes. But there's also issues around INEC performance. But at the end of it, I think PDP didn't have, or any other party didn't show the strength to knock off the incumbent governor. Let's
look at the fortunes of opposition parties in Nigeria. The PDP, lost again. In Edo State and now in Ondo State. They've also lost, in Ekiti State as well. So now they have just 12 states to themselves and APC. The question is, are we moving to a one-party state? So in your own view, what is the current stage of opposition party or politics in the country, particularly in the light of PDP's recent electoral losses?
I think the state is really distressing, not encouraging. We are closer to one-party state in de facto, not de jure. We have over 18 parties, or about 18 parties registered. But then some people say we have APC, half APC in PDP, half APC in Labour Party. The 3 main parties in terms of, and then NNPP is maybe 1/4 APC. So we're nudging towards a one-party state if you look at electoral fortune. So let's say Osho is in play, Osho goes in, or even if the governor struggles, as they did before, to hold it, Anambra is in play, maybe Soludo may somewhat hold back, Anambra, people may not want APC. But again, the state of play in terms of how the parties are shaping up, the PDP is in almost like a terminal crisis. There's no prospect that they can work out of this crisis stronger than they were before 2023. APC, in spite of all its internal crisis, is looking stronger every day, taking in more people in, a certain strength, is incumbent. And APC also, in my view, master of the dark art of politics. Yes, the APC biggest challenge for 2027 would be governance, which they're failing. The APC government is failing truly. But the point is that...
But you think so because, I
No,
mean,
I think so.
the government has been, looking at his achievements. I mean, they've been reeling out what they've been doing in terms of governance.
I mean, I don't think people can have any argument. Look at what happened in the US. Now, by the way, IMF, that is a strong supporter of this government, admits that it has not worked. So I'm not saying they're not making efforts. Maybe they're making good effort. Maybe they're trying. But the result is that if you base it on the indicators that matter, inflation, livelihood, security, look at the number of kidnapped, look at what happened in Sokoto, look at the multiplication of terror groups. So they have failed in the three major policy areas: economy, security, national cohesion, and defense. But that's not the point. The point is, in real democracy responsiveness, electoral democracy is premised on the idea that if a party in power doesn't deliver, and if you are 8 years in power, actually, even if you deliver, you likely lose. Was that example in the US? Some argue that Biden didn't do badly, but the result is that you have to go. So, but the problem is this: the electoral system is not good enough to deliver free and fair election. Let's not forget Edo was shambolic. Edo was really, in our view, Abuja School, a rigged process. Although maybe a better, we yet to look at the reports coming out. But the point is that with the president still appointing INEC officials and the tenure of the chairman will go when the president will appoint his own person, so the PDP's status where they are today does not encourage that there will be a strong opposition. Again, the idea is competitiveness. It doesn't matter whether Tinubu wins or doesn't win. What matters is that the electoral system is so competitive and fair that a party that's not doing well, the people can oust them from power. But the electoral system is trapped, and PDP's and Labour Party's weakness, the confusion in their rank, makes it even more difficult for them to... Right now, there's no advocacy for electoral reform. So the problem with this process is that we're going to be a multi-party in name, but the electoral system that is not credible, and the weak opposition, and the process of poverty, part of what comes out of Ondo is clear vote buying, daylight, vote trafficking. People are buying vote exchange, you buy openly. Now, with that kind of situation, with the electoral system that's not clear, with INEC that is partisan because of appointment, and the opposition party is not strong, so you're going to see that it's more like, slam dunk. But this is only rider. I think the PDP and some people who are opposed to the president think that the winning formula is going to be ethnic kind of politics. That, okay, the North is angry. You hear it in Twitter all the time. The North will remember. Nobody's thinking about creating a process of transparent electoral system. They're not thinking about building a structure that can oppose and put people on, boots on ground. So I think that the whole idea is somehow the North will flip the card. So if I took Abubakar, any strong Northern candidate challenges Mr. President Tinubu, I don't buy that reductionist proposition. I think that the two biggest challenge to the presidency, the second term, is governance.
All right.
Where they're not doing well. But then, so far, they're showing more strength to cash out electoral victory.
Let's look at, looking ahead of the 2027 general elections. What step do you believe opposition parties need to take to present themselves? Perhaps, win more people, because in 2023 we saw massive, gathering or massive, massive winning or people coming together, and that was dependent on the youth, largely dependent on the youth. But let's talk about why is it that we've not been able, because we've seen attempt of opposition coming to form alliances in the past, but many have struggled to hold it together. So why do you think this is so? And how can we perhaps come together and maybe form an opposition, a strong opposition, because democracy without a strong opposition is not actually democracy.
Okay, I think they just need to borrow the playbook of APC in 2014. Look, APC in 2014 had a clear opposition leader in the person of Amadi Tinubu. Buhari was there who had electoral value. There's 9 or 8 million captive voters, but he couldn't win. Tinubu was the arrowhead, and they were able to mobilize the Amechis, other people who are not satisfied, and build up a coalition. Now, it's difficult for these guys to build this coalition because there's this question around who will be, everybody's talking about being the president, and there seems to be no real leader of the opposition. That's number one. Number two is that they should borrow the playbook also of aggressive opposition. So take, for example, the way they formed the merger, the Jonathan government didn't want that merger. But they put so much pressure on INEC. They blackmailed everybody. They went international. They went ballistic. At the end of the day, the PDP were almost like blackmailed and subdued to allow them. Today, why is the opposition not going ballistic or reshaping INEC? Knowing that every election, in Edo, PDP issued a statement, is that not correct? Blaming INEC, is that not correct? Today, PDP has issued a statement again, saying, if you know that the elections are not competitive and free and fair, why don't you build a strong momentum to change that electoral system, electoral body, to make it fair and fair? They're failing. Instead, they are all talking about being candidates, running about funerals and weddings and seminars and workshops. So the missing link here is that the opposition has not borrowed the Tinubu Buhari playbook, which is one, come together. Two, aggression. Push the ruling party to make concessions on structural changes that allow you to win. Because look, even if you do the campaigning, if as they are alleging, the electoral system is rigged, you can't win. Don't forget that in 2023, the two leading opposition parties went to court, is that not correct? To allege issues around IRF, allege all kinds of things, electoral system, judicial process. What have they done strategically to begin to reverse those things that they claim worked against them? Nothing. So if I have to assess, the 2014 opposition party was hungry for power, wanted to get power at all means, in fact, did some terrible things to get to power. The 2024 opposition party is not hungry for power, has a sense of entitlement. They feel that they will defeat Amadi Tinubu because the North will remember. That's
well, I just think we need to leave it there. Dr. Sam Amadi, Director of Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, a rights analyst. Thank you for coming on the news at night.